This is Tracy, and today we're going to be working on a total body workout. We're going to be looking at sculpting things like your abs and your legs, so those are probably some of the areas that you'll really be feeling it during this workout today. Let's get started. The first thing that we're going to go ahead and do today is some knee presses. You're probably going to feel this a lot in some of your, the backs of your legs as well as your abdomen. So the way that we do that, it looks very comfortable to start. You lay down, but it gets a little harder. So you're going to put your hands right at your knees, and I recommend flexing your feet, but really, like most things with exercise, just do what feels best for you. So what we're going to start doing is we're going to push our knees and our hands kind of in together. So once you start doing this, you can start to feel there's some pressure on your lower abdomen, as well as I feel it in the backs of my legs right here. And it's a pretty low pressure, kind of light way to start easing yourself into a workout. Okay, so one thing you'll notice is that your shoulder blades are actually what are anchoring you kind of down to the mat. You want to remain flat in your back while you're doing this so that you really feel the pressure in your lower abdomen and in your legs. So go ahead and keep holding this pose, and I'm going to kind of show you where I notice my back kind of making contact with the mat so that I know that it's actually flat on the mat. So while you're holding that pose, you should be noticing that your back is connecting with the mat, kind of just below your shoulder blades, and then also kind of in your lower back as well. Because if you only feel it in one area, you're probably either lifting or you're probably kind of lifting here as well. And you don't really want there to be space here. You want this to all be flat with the mat. So just real quick while we're just hanging out here, and again, this is a great way. The longer you stay here, this is a great way to kind of ease into your workout in a low pressure but high impact way. But yeah, while we're sitting around, I just wanted to thank Dragonfly once again for providing some awesome, really fun outfits. They make these really lightweight, kind of matching outfits that are really fun to kind of play with and wear. They're always really comfortable every time I've worn them with a workout. So thank you guys so much for providing these for us. All right. So once you've held this pose for about, I would say about probably 3 to a maximum of about 5 minutes, you can actually go ahead. I recommend doing a couple of other stretches. You might want to stretch your ankles out a little bit since they've been a little stagnant, kind of hanging out there for a little while. Actually, a great thing that I like to do, if I'm ever feeling that there's too much pressure, sometimes I'll actually move my ankles because they rarely get, a whole lot of attention. You don't typically do an exercise for your ankles, but they really want some loving as well. So sometimes to distract myself, I'll just roll my ankles around, and it takes my mind off of the pressure that's going on in my legs and my abs. It maintains that workout, but when you take your mind off of something, sometimes it helps you become a little bit more effective because you're really not worried about what's going on with your legs, your abs, but you're still getting the same amount of workout. But if you didn't get a chance to do that while we were holding, certainly now's the time to do it. Go ahead and roll your ankles. And it also feels really great since we've been holding our legs in this kind of tabletop position for a while now. It feels pretty good for us to just go ahead and raise our legs. You're going to feel it kind of in the back of your legs as well as some of your calves. And just remind them that those muscles exist too. They need a little bit of help. All right. So the next thing we're going to go ahead and get into is bicycles. So I don't know if you've done these before. They're pretty fun. They really engage your abdomen and your legs as well. So let's go ahead and get started. One thing that you will want to ensure that you have is enough leg space. So I'm just going to scoot back a little bit. So once you've moved into a spot where you have enough room, what you're going to want to go ahead and do is first make sure that your upper body is taken care of. So go ahead and put your hands behind your back. And right along with me, you're going to want to notice where your shoulder blades are. Because really what we want to make sure is that our backs are flat on the ground and that we're not crunching our neck when we're trying to do these bicycles. So if you can feel your shoulder blades almost kind of pinched together a little bit, not really pinched together, but engaged enough to where they've kind of migrated towards each other, most likely what you're doing is you're pulling your shoulders back and down so that you're actually ready to go ahead and get started. So once that's done, go ahead and extend one leg out and keep one leg bent towards you. And then go ahead and switch. And just keep switching. And once your legs are kind of used to doing this switching back and forth, you can then feel free to engage your upper body as well. So once you engage your upper body, again, you're going to want to keep your back as straight as possible, and you're not going to want to crunch your neck at all, because that can definitely cause some problems that we really don't want for you. All right, so we're going to think of bringing our body up as if we were making a V, kind of like this. And if I can get my direction correct, you're going to take your opposite elbow to your opposite knee as that knee comes in. So depending on how fast or slow you're going, or how much of a workout you're really wanting out of these bicycles, you may want to take a little break, and you can always jump back in at any time. Trust that I take breaks pretty frequently. So it's very easy to just kind of lay down, give yourself a minute to recoup, and then jump back in at any time. I like to do just a couple of these, maybe 3 repetitions. So touching each knee 3 times, maybe taking a break, especially if it's early in the morning, or if you're really just trying to get started on working out your abs, or maybe have been out of the ab game for a little while. It's always nice to just be gentle and, reward your body for engaging when it does, and then just not be afraid to get back in. So once we've done quite a few bicycles, we can go ahead and move on to the next thing. So the next thing that we're going to go ahead and focus on today is our leg lifts. So with leg lifts, you want to get your elbow just below your shoulder, and then your arm is actually what's going to be primarily supporting you. You can put most of your weight on the side of your hip, and we're going to be lifting this top leg. So I usually like to place my hand right here. If I'm really wanting an extra workout, maybe I'll place it here, but I find that it's a lot easier to kind of give myself this support of leaning forward a little bit if I'm feeling a little bit too much pressure kind of on this elbow. So once you are situated, it's pretty simple seeming. All you have to do is lift this leg, but don't let it fool you, because as simple as this seems, you do get quite a workout. After a while, you'll start feeling it kind of here in your leg, and actually kind of in the front of your leg as well. And again, at any time, if you start feeling a little bit, like this might be a little too much, never hesitate to kind of take a break and then get back into it whenever you're ready. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I typically recommend about 2 reps of 10. That actually allows me just a moment to kind of recuperate in between repetitions, but then kind of still encourage myself to keep going. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is where I like to take a little break. Kind of relax the shoulders, because our shoulders are kind of holding us up. One thing that admittedly I tend to forget is to breathe while I'm working out. So whenever I take these little breaks, it helps remind me to go ahead and just take a deep breath and breathe and kind of get my mind back in the right place to be breathing throughout my whole workout. So let's go ahead and do the second set of 10 with the same leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to stop right here. I go a little bit fast. I have a pretty high energy, just kind of regularly. So I want to encourage you that if you tend to like to take this a little bit slower, it's not really going to make it harder or less hard if you do it faster or slower necessarily. It's really just kind of the energy level that you like to exercise with. So just because I'm going fast does not mean you have to take it this fast. If you want to do it half as fast as I'm going, you can definitely, do half as many or continue with some more later on as well. So I'll go ahead and finish out those last 5 because you're not off the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Let's go ahead and make sure that we give both legs equal attention. All right. So we're going to switch sides and do the same thing. So we're going to go ahead and put our arm with our elbow under our shoulder. And I usually like to put my other hand just kind of flat down, kind of by my other, hand so they're close together, just to kind of give me a little bit of extra support. Again, we're going to want to make sure that our body is nice and straight, almost like a plank, and then we can move forward with our leg lifts. So we're going to do another set of 10, a rest, and then another set of 10. So let's get started with that first set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Little break. Again, you are going to feel a little bit of pressure maybe in this shoulder, a little bit in the shoulder blade, because you are putting a lot of your body weight on this elbow, which is one of the reasons why you really do want to make sure it is under your shoulder blade, because if it's kind of out here, you're going to start feeling it in weird spots. You want to make sure that elbow is under your shoulder blade, and if you want, like I do, to kind of cheat a little bit, you can put your hand here and kind of take on some of that weight as well to take a little pressure off of your shoulder. We ready for that next set of 10? All right, let's get started. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, feeling it? 7, 8, 9, 10. Awesome. Great job so far, you guys. I'm having so much fun with you. This is one of my first videos with Psyche Truths. I'm having a great time, and I really appreciate you guys allowing me to have this time with you to kind of learn some light ways to kind of get started with our day, or kind of jump back into our workout, focusing again on our abs and some of our legs. All right. So what we're going to go ahead and finish up with is a couple of cobra poses. So this is going to really actually help ease us out of this workout that we've done today. The reason that it's going to help is when you're doing and I'll explain a little bit more what a cobra pose is in a second if you're not sure what it is. But essentially we'll be laying on our bellies and stretching up, and it really stretches out our abdomen. So when you work out your abdomen, it feels really nice afterwards, after doing some crunches, to really stretch it back out and remind it that it does go both ways. Your abdomen can crunch in and it can also stretch back out. So the way that we will start this next session out is just by, again, laying on our bellies. Okay, so once we're on our tummies, we're gonna do kind of a modification of a cobra pose. So here's why it's gonna be a little different than a normal cobra pose. Typically with cobra pose, you actually kind of use your hands. Once your shoulders are rolled back with typical cobra pose, you use your hands to push yourself up to create an open space where your chest is. So we're gonna do something similar, except we're gonna actually use kind of our lower back to pull our bodies up instead. So you'll see how high I was able to rise up off of the mat. you probably won't be able to get up this high with what we're actually going to be doing. So again, we're going to start in the same kind of position, but we're going to use our lower back, and you might even try lifting your hands completely off of the mat, maybe putting them by your legs so that you know that you're not really relying on your hands, but really actually trying to focus on engaging your lower back muscles to help pull you off of the mat. And you definitely will feel a little bit of pressure in your lower back. And that's great because you're actually engaging those muscles. A lot of times, if you're anything like me, we're sitting at desks all day, kind of crunched over a computer. So your back might want to protest a little bit because it's not used to bending this way. But just because it's not used to it does not mean that it's not good for it. So we can go ahead and hold this pose. If you want a little bit of an extra challenge, you can kind of lift your feet. That helps kind of deepen the pull in your lower back. If you're looking for a lighter exercise, you can certainly feel free to kind of keep your feet down. Or what I usually do is just kind of try it on. Try it on for a minute. See if it's something that you think that you can attain for today. And if not, my favorite word is yet. So maybe you can try again next time and see if maybe your body's ready for it the next time you try this workout. So we're just going to hold this for a little while, remembering to breathe. You might quiver a little bit. I tend to do that too sometimes. Again, when we're quivering or when we feel like it's a little bit, kind of a little bit of pressure, it's typically because our body is not used to doing that, and that's okay. We're here today to kind of expand what we're not used to doing, and so that might mean that you have a little quivers. You might forget to breathe. I do that all the time, but here I am reminding you and reminding myself, we're just holding the pose and focusing on our breath. All right, so this is a nice, so again, this is always nice to take just a moment after a workout and just relax and reward yourself for, holding some poses that, man, they look simple, but it is a workout. You really feel it in your lower back and in your legs. So you did a great job, and you really do deserve to just kind of lay here for a little while and just reap the rewards of a job well done. I always like really kind of coming out of a workout, just allowing myself to really relax. So once you've laid there for as long as you'd like and kind of gotten your mind off of whatever it is that might be kind of weighing you down elsewhere and rewarding yourself, go ahead and gently come up to a cross-legged seat. Thank you guys so much for giving me an opportunity to work out with you today. I really appreciate you guys playing with me because this is one of my first videos with Psyche Truth, so it really gave me an opportunity to kind of put myself out there. And I'm really looking forward to your feedback just to see how I can improve and really bring you a workout that's going to be best for you. I also want to thank Dragonfly for providing this awesome workout outfit. Not the first time I've worn them, and they're always really comfortable every time I've worked out in them. Be sure to subscribe to our channel so that you can see all of our future videos, and I'll see you guys next time.